Going on, guys? Owen Swarm coming at you guys today with another video. And today's video I'm going to be talking about some Lions player. I'd like a deeper dive into our 6th round pick linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez out of Oklahoma State, the Oklahoma State Cowboy. Basically a draft profile. Earlier I did like an introduction, so now I'm just going to be doing like more of a deeper dive, a draft analysis. Not really even a draft analysis because we already drafted him, but more of a player analysis. But we did sign this kid to a 4-year deal for $3.8 million plus contract, 187,000 plus signing bonus, and another 187,000 plus guaranteed, and an annual salary of $961 plus $1,000 too as well. 5'11", 225 pounds, Oklahoma State Cowboy. Big 12, out of the Big 12 stats. 408 tackles, 32 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 through the air. He had a pick, and then one was a fumble recovery, I believe. So he had 2 touchdowns altogether, 11 pass breakups, 4 fumble recoveries, 13 forced fumbles in a 5-year span. Pretty much his freshman year, he didn't really get on the field too much, maybe a little bit of special teams, but then his next 4 years, he accumulated most of his numbers. He was a safety for 2 years, and then he became a linebacker the next 2 years and ended his collegiate career as a linebacker. A 4-year starter, like I said, 2 years of safety, 2 years at linebacker, just talked about it. A kid that's short and built. This kid is built like a tank. Like if you were to see this kid, he's just a big boy, man. All around, shoulders, chest, arms. His legs are massive. He's just an all-around big kid, just on the shorter side. He's played middle linebacker for Oklahoma State. Smart with really great instincts. He reads and reacts instantly. He's got good read and reaction time. No hesitation whatsoever on the football field. Has a nose for the ball, always around the play. He's like a hound, man. He's just constantly around the ball. Pursues the football under control most of the time. He can be a little erratic at times. We'll get into that a little bit too. Just a tough kid, a wrestling champion. Strong as a bull, 35 reps on the bench. I think he was the strongest linebacker. I don't know if it's the strongest linebacker ever. I don't want to say that because there must have been somebody that put up more than 35 reps, but he destroyed the competition on his pro day and was just a really good pro day, and I think it was the combine too, because I believe he said in an interview that he was chatting up, was it Aaron Glenn that he was chatting up at the combine? He was chatting up one of our defensive coaches. I think it was Aaron Glenn. I just can't remember. I should have wrote that down. Aggressive, good open field tackler, athletic with really good range too as well. Closes quickly if he has to recover. He's not gonna, he's a hustler. He's always trying to get into play, and a good blitzer. He times his blitzes very well. A former safety too, so he's got that coverage ability. He can cover tight ends. Sometimes running backs coming out in the flats. So, and he's got good speed too. I believe he ran like a 4.5 40. So the kid's an all-around good football player. Now, like I said, and what I always preach, with the positives do come the negatives, and here's some negatives. There's not a lot of negative to this kid though. I just think he's a little bit undersized. The school that he went to, Oklahoma State, and then it's not a bad school whatsoever. We've seen guys that have gone to Oklahoma State. We've had one in this city, in Detroit City, that is a Hall of Famer in Barry Sanders, who went to Oklahoma State too. Guys like Des Bryant. There's been few guys in the NFL that have had successful careers coming out of Oklahoma State. So, but you mentioned that a little bit. It's the Big 12. It's not the SEC or the Big Ten, but it's still a great football school. It's a great football school, but you kind of have to talk about it a little bit. But I'm not going to get too much into that. Like I said, a shorter guy. I think if you went to a bigger school, bigger school and a couple more inches, this kid's probably getting drafted on day 2. This kid got underdrafted. He kind of got forgotten in this draft, to be honest with you, which is kind of surprising because he was just a production machine. He's going to be a kid, though. He's going to be a kid that's going to, not right away is probably going to get a lot of playing time. Obviously, he's going to have to make the team. I don't think that's going to even be an issue because I think this is one of the steals of the draft. And I'm not even trying to be a homer here. Saying, oh man, a 6th-round pick, look out. But this kid's got a feel. I thought this kid should have went in the 3rd or 4th round, to be honest with you. Like I said, a couple inches taller, different school. This kid is he's a day 2 pick. He's just a production machine, insane, especially his forced fumbles and his tackles that he's racked up over his last 4 or 5 years. So it's just insane. But he will have to work his way into probably a more prominent role on the field as a linebacker. He'll be doing that by becoming a special teams guy. I got a feeling he's going to be a special teams ace. He's already a fan favorite. The kid is a good football player. So right off the hop, special teams. Hopefully he can cut into some guys, into some veterans playing time. But that's going to be tough. That's totally up to him. He does play a little bit, like I said earlier. He plays pretty much under control for most of the time. But there's times where you see him, he's kind of like an unguided missile, man. He's just flying all over the football field, a little bit out of control. And then he just kind of needs maybe to gear it down a level at times, and that's done all up here, and that's done through coaching, and they'll get that fixed up real quick. He seems like a very coachable kid. He just needs to adapt. You know what I mean? But you can't ignore the production. The production's insane. Like I said, not a lot to really criticize about this kid. Just really his size. And it's not like he's small. You know, he's 5'11", he's 230 pounds. He says he probably feels comfortable going up to about no more than 230, is what he said in his interview there during rookie minicamp when they were wrapping it up. So you love that about him. Yeah, he can fit 230 on him. He's just a tank. He's a playmaker. Bottom line. There's not really a lot to talk about him. There's some negatives. If you really want to harp on the school, I'm not going to harp on the school, but it needs to get brought up a little bit, But like I said, man, we got a Hall of Famer that went to Oklahoma State, so it doesn't. It's just some things need to get brought up, but I don't think it's an issue. But it's kind of, you do always have to wonder why kids like this drop in the draft. Like he went in the 6th round. That's almost like a guy that's that's going to make a tough time making this squad. So all 32 teams passed on this guy multiple times. Some teams passed on this kid more than 6 times because they had more than 6 picks within the first 6 rounds. So you have to kind of think about it a little bit. But when you watch this kid play, you watch him talk. He's a leader, and his play on the field speaks volumes on how much of a leader he actually really is too. So, and another thing I want to say about this kid is, this is just my opinion, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if this kid gets moved to more outside linebacker. Because during the rookie minicamp, you heard some things, I read some things about how Kelvin Sheppard was kind of talking him up, and James Houston, the other 6th-round pick out of Jackson State. Kelvin Sheppard is our outside linebacker coach. Now, I'm not going to put it in stone that this kid is locked in as an outside linebacker, but you might see him. He's versatile, by the way. He can probably throw him at. He's probably too big to be a safety now, even though 225 is it's good size, but I'm thinking sometimes tweener here. This guy's is eventually gonna get onto the field, because it seems like we're gonna be playing a lot of safeties this coming 2022 season with the 4-2-5 that we plan on playing. With the 4 down linemen, the 2 linebackers, and you're gonna have probably 3 safeties in there and 2 corners, or 3 corners, 2 safeties. Vice versa. I think there's going to be a lot of safety play in there. So, and mixed in with the linebacker play. So you're going to see these guys getting in there a lot. And I think he's going to eventually work his way into the mix, because he's just a playmaker. So, but I'm just having a feeling, maybe it's just a guess, that I wouldn't be surprised if this kid gets moved. Not the full-time outside linebacker, but I think you're going to see him at outside linebacker a lot. Just my guess. Because, Angelone's in there in the middle right now. He's about 240 plus. A little bit bigger guy, 6'5". He's just a big kid, Angelone. Nothing special at all, but he's just a bigger guy. He can handle probably a bigger, a little bit more of a, I don't want to say more of a workload, but he can handle more of the ground and pound, maybe, the first start off his career. But I think Malcolm Rodriguez is one of the most special players in this draft. Like I said, shocking that he didn't get drafted earlier. I thought for sure no later than the 4th, but the kid dropped to the 6th. Now, some teams, just like I said, some teams get scared of size, height. They don't really know where he's going to fit on their team. Is he an outside linebacker? Is he a middle linebacker? Can he play safety? Why not all 3? You know what I mean? I just think this kid's going to be a bit of a tweener. I don't really think he's going to have a spot just yet. I have a feeling it's going to be more outside linebacker, but that's just a feeling. I don't really know what their plans are, but it seemed like Kelvin Shepherd was getting more involved with these guys than Mark DeLeon, our middle linebacker coach. But that doesn't mean that Mark DeLeon didn't have any conversation with him. I'm just kind of going off speculation, and I'm just kind of guessing. It's all about fun here, man. It's all about guessing. But I think this kid's is here to stay. He's going to be a playmaker for this team eventually. Got to maybe just ease his way into the mix for now. It's not a strong linebacker group, so this kid's got all kinds of opportunities to go out there, make some plays, turn some heads. Dan Campbell's already kind of made that comment about him. That man, he just looks to roll. So that's a really good sign right there when your head coach has got your back 120%. So Malcolm Rodriguez, a little bit of a deeper dive into his player profile, a little bit of a draft a profile, if you will. Locked up, 4-year deal. Kid's a Detroit Lion, Honolulu Blue and Silver. That's awesome, man. I think this is one of the best picks in the draft by the Detroit Lions. Could be a big steal. I think it was a good draft pick, but great draft pick. So that's the video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for paying attention. Don't forget to subscribe on the bottom right. Hit that big red icon. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, get all my videos. Don't forget to like and comment. Talk about Malcolm Rodriguez. I know he's a fan favorite, man. Let's go. I think this kid's going to be special. Boom.